Right boys, today you join me in my kitchen, completely unscripted video, just something that came to my head really and I thought I should really speak about. Because right now I'm doing some meal prep, which is basically just cooking a lot of stuff at once, putting it on containers, kind of like this one, there's some chicken in there. And it just brought to my attention one thing, how everyone's diet nowadays it's just a bit fucked really, is it? So one of the most basic things that nobody is telling you about right now, which is quite common in the fitness industry, but you won't know this, is in your diet realistically you need about 2 grams of protein per 1 kilogram of body weight. Now, if you don't know what protein is, or carbohydrates, or sugars, fats, you've probably heard about this in school, but you might not actually know what they are. So I do suggest do a bit of reading about them. There's a lot of good material on YouTube. There's a lot of good YouTubers. I can myself recommend, for example, Derek from moreplatesmoredates.com, and also Coach Greg, channel Greg Doucette IFBB Pro. And just people like this. There's people out there that know what they're talking about, and you'll find it quite easy to see the difference between a video of somebody that really knows what they're talking about and somebody just chatting shit to promote their business. So those two guys I mentioned, they're actually very good for diet and things like that, if you want to find out more. But as I was saying, 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body mass. So if you don't know how much you weigh right now, you probably either weigh too much or too little. You can literally tell by looking at yourself. If you weigh too much or too little, it's pretty simple. So go and get yourself a weight. If you have a scale, if you don't, they're like a 5 or 8 quid in your local supermarket, or for you American guys, like $10, $12 of Amazon even. They're not expensive. Like, they won't be super accurate. They're not going to tell you your body fat or whatever, but they'll tell you your weight. So step on there and you have a rough number, right? Do that, times it by 2. Or if you have a scale that's in pounds instead of kilos, then just do the exact same number. That's roughly 2.2 or 2, which is roughly 2 times your body weight in grams of protein. Now, why is this important? Now, people say that all calories are the same. Calories are not the same. Calories are just the energy that you get from macronutrients, right? Macronutrients are protein, carbs, the stuff I mentioned earlier. Now, protein in itself inherently is very filling. Like, think about this. 1 chicken breast, how filling is that when you eat it? It's quite a lot. Try to eat 2 chicken breasts, bro. Cook 2 chicken breasts and try to eat them. Like, if you've been bulking or something like that, you know how hard it is to eat 2 chicken breasts. Fuck's sake, some guys even eat 3 at a go. But protein in itself is really filling. It's not super calorie dense, but it is filling. And that's good if you're trying to lose weight. But also protein in itself, it is prevalent that protein plays a massive role in muscle building and fat burning. Now, for example, fat, when fat goes into your body, when you eat food super high in fat. So full fat is not necessarily the enemy. Your body doesn't have much that it can do when fat comes in. You either store the fat in your fat or you burn the fat for the calories, right, for the energy. And you guys who have a little bit more knowledge will probably think that's way too oversimplified, but I'm honestly just trying to make a video for guys that know near to nothing about diet and just some basic guidances. So you probably heard about saturated fats, unsaturated fats, stuff like that. Basically, really try to keep down your saturated fats and try to keep down trans fats as much as possible. If you don't know what those are, do some research, and it's probably gonna shock you how much stuff that we eat is really bad for us. Alright, great, so you've cut down your fat intake, you've upped your protein intake to 2 grams of protein per kilo of body mass. What else do we have left? Now, everybody knows that we have a third group, right? Carbohydrates. Now, what you may not know is sugar is a carbohydrate. Sugars are carbs. It's just the difference between carbs and sugars is in their complexity. Like, you may have heard the term complex carbs. Now, complex carbs are going to be things like potatoes, rice, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. So what you naturally know is a carb. But simple carbs are sugar, glucose, sucrose, fructose. Those are just different types of sugars. Like, for example, they come from fruits and stuff like that. Probably heard sugar bad, sugar terrible, sugar make you fat. It's not so much the case. It's just simple carbs, sugar, stuff like that. If you go overboard with them, if you have a lot of them, the tendency will be that your body will store them into fat, because the calorie density is just so high. Like, think about a cookie. How much calories is in a cookie? 150 calories, 200 calories, depending on what's inside. 200 calories is like a whole chicken breast is like 250, 300 calories. And think about how many cookies you can eat. I'm talking about like, you know, like the Subway sized cookies, like this kind of deal going on, like not the super small ones, but how many of those cookies can you eat compared to how many chicken breasts? Think about that, right? So sugars in general, best advice is cut out as many sugar as you can from your diet. Don't put sugar in your tea unless you really have to and you have like one tea a day and you put one sugar like spoon, fine. But if you're eating fucking cookies, jelly beans, like tons, you're drinking Coca-Cola and all that shit, it's bad for you. Like simple as you can tell what kind of sugars are bad for you and what kind just come in your diet naturally. Like if you have some fruit, like orange or whatever, there's fructose in there. You can't stop that. You don't get oranges that don't have fucking fructose in there. See, this is a tangerine. I can't stop this from having sugar in it. Like it just will. Is it good for me because of the vitamin C and stuff like that in it? Yeah, it is. Is vitamin C anti-inflammatory? Yeah, it is. So great. This is good for you. But it's got fructose, so don't get mistaken that if you don't have fucking like 30 of these, it's not too much sugar. Now that we've sort of sorted out the bad carbs, we're left with the good carbs. Now, people say carbs are the enemy, carbs are bad for you, and generally, they can be, but it's just the issue again is carbs. They make you full, right? They think about eating like a potato, right? How many potatoes can you realistically eat? You can't eat that much, but think about like fries. You can eat tons of fries. It's just the way that they're prepared, they're easier to get down, but it's still a potato. Fry is still a potato. And then it's literally a fry, it's like a potato dipped in oil, fucking refrozen, blah blah blah. So it's even worse than just the carb itself. It's got loads of fat, loads of trans fat, it's got loads of sodium, salt on it. So stuff like fries, bad for you. But stuff like wholemeal bread, potatoes, rice, you know, basic things like that, they can be a great complementary addition to your diet. Even oats, if you know how to deploy them correctly. So carbs, they release their energy slowly, complex carbs. And that means that if you want energy for the day, for example, that's why our breakfast, usually like a good staple breakfast is like some oats and some eggs, for example. Because eggs give you protein. Like best case scenario, egg whites if you really want to get into it, because eggs have some cholesterol and stuff like that. But like eggs and oats, like you don't even have to put milk, just oats on their own, because they're just a slow releasing energy source, right? Complex carbs, and oats are literally like complex carbs. Alright, so about carbs, carbohydrates. Are they bad? Are they good? Well, it really depends how many of them you have and what kind you have. So just do some research, type in healthy carbs onto the internet. It'll literally give you loads, like quinoa, rice, oats, all that kind of stuff. As I mentioned before, it is good, right? And it's a good source of energy. Because you do need energy, like calories in, calories out is true. You do need calories. For example, like a guy like me, probably with how much gym I'm doing right now, I am bulking right now, so it's a bit different for me. But right now my maintenance is probably 2,800 calories. So if I have less than that, I'll drop weight. If I have above that, I'll get up in weight. So that's why right now I'm eating about 3,500 calories. Now some people will say that's quite aggressive, like an aggressive bulk, but I'm managing to do 3,500 with relatively clean calories. Like clean, healthy food, like I'm having vegetables, I'm having fruit, I'm hitting all the kind of macronutrient goals that I've set for myself, low fat, low sugar. You've stayed this long in the video, you've heard me rambling about all the different kinds of macronutrients, stuff like that, but now I'm gonna give you literally the number one piece of advice that I wish somebody told me when I started, right? This is really gonna help. So what you're gonna do is go onto the internet right now and type in calorie maintenance calculator, right? You're gonna type in your weight, maybe your age, some of them depend, and then it's gonna give you out a number. It's gonna give you an amount of calories that you need to maintain the weight you currently are, right? Now what you need to do with this info is, it really depends, because you're probably in one of three boats. You're probably super skinny, no muscle, or like skinny fat. In that case, you're gonna want to bulk, which means go slightly over your maintenance calories and see how your body reacts. And you can go even higher if you want. Like for example, my bulk's quite aggressive right now because I know that I need a lot of calories to get bigger, because I've been weightlifting for a while and I know that if I go 100 over, that's not enough for me. But for you it might be. And just go to the gym, go above, your maintenance calories, be consistent in what you're eating, remember the 2 grams of protein per kilo of body mass, cut out sugars, and try not to have too much fat. Simple. That's for you skinny guys out there. For you average guys, they're like a bit on the fatter side, you don't have much muscle, you're kind of just in the middle. You're heavier, but you're not like super fat or anything. Most likely, all you're gonna have to do is clean up your diet, keep your maintenance calories, and what you're gonna be trying to aim for is body recomposition. So if you have too much fat, right, that fat, as soon as you start exercising, eating a lot of protein, it's gonna turn into muscle. You're gonna burn off the fat and it's gonna turn into muscle. You're not gonna lose weight. You might even gain weight sometimes. But your goal is to do body recomposition. Because at your point, if you bulk too much, you might just get fat. Like some people, if they bulk, you get fat. You still get muscle, but you get fat. Now for you like heavier guys out there, I don't have too much experience in this, so I can't tell you enough. But I would advise against these super strict diets that put you on like 800 calories a day, like just shove lettuce in your mouth, just only eat like vegetables, stuff like that. That can't be good for you. So what I can say for you guys is the same as for the average guys. Just maybe for you guys, cut down, like there's a reason why you're fat, alright? That's it. There's a reason you're fat, so cut out all the sweets. Or if you can't, cut out most of the sweets. Like try not to eat sweets, sweet stuff, like super processed food, cut it out. And just try to keep at whatever the calculator tells you is your maintenance calories. Keep at your maintenance or slightly below your maintenance. Like do a small cut, like 200 calories, 300, you'll see how your body reacts. Don't be doing these like stupid diets. Let's say, oh, 500 calories a day and you're gonna get shredded fucking 6-packs. Let's all eat grapes and get fucking peeled, right? You're not gonna get peeled by summer if you're eating only grapes and no source of protein. So if you stayed this long in the video, try out what I've just told you. Do some research on your own, look up the terms I've said, find out your maintenance calories if you haven't already, and take action. Take action, boys, because we're all gonna be shredded Greek gods at the end of the day. All gonna get huge. It's the journey that matters, right? And your journey starts now. Promise, right? Once this video ends, you're gonna go and find out your maintenance calories and you're gonna start your fitness journey, alright? We're all gonna make it, boys.